everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. I'm just going to let everybody get in here a little bit, get my stuff loaded. You stay here with me? Mojo says hello. All right. I hope everybody's having an excellent start to their week. I got to catch up on a lot of live streams this weekend, which was really awesome. Really nice to see people in action, and I promised that I would see them in action. All right, you just settle by, okay? Okay, what did we do last time? This seems a little dark. I'm not super stoked about it, but we'll see. Okay, so last week, what we did, for those of you tuning in on different locations, I started by shading kind of all of the turtle shell. I left it without breaking it down like I discussed it doing. Like I wanted to leave it so that the shell would speak for itself. But because this is such a big illustration, it's an 18 by 24, because it's so big, it kind of just looked, the shadows just kind of like didn't look quite right. They didn't break down as nicely. They didn't kind of show shapes in the way I was hoping to. Like it wasn't coming across, even though it was just the shadows and not the highlights. It just wasn't looking stained glass to me. Just again, because it's so big. It might have been different if I was working at a smaller scale or had kind of a bigger brush or something. I think printing it out on an 18 by 24 would have been too much. Even if I used a bigger brush, it just wasn't getting the effect I was hoping for. So actually I have it here still, so I'll show anybody who missed it. So it was looking okay. I probably could have made it work, but like the sections were just too big for this size of art. If I did this smaller, like kind of like a postcard size, or even like an 8.5 by 11 size, it probably would have worked just fine. But I started so big that I think that this was just not going to give us the effect we were hoping for, and it ended up being kind of boring. So what I ended up doing for the live was I kind of scrapped that and went in. As you can see when I zoom in, I did break these down into different lines. I'm going to continue to treat the spots on the shell. I know they're not spots, but the kind of that seashell look, I'm going to treat it like the stained glass, but kind of do the stuff that's in between a little differently, I think. Maybe just leave it without shadows or something, I'm not sure yet. But I didn't want to break it down because I think having that being broke down was going to definitely take away from the spots on the shell. So I didn't want to do that at all. So I broke down the lines, and as you can see, I put a couple on the jellyfish, and I put a couple on the lionfish. Now, I wasn't super sure about doing this just because you see like the lionfish has so much detail on it already without those lines that I didn't want to make it even more busy because it will throw everything out of balance. And there were so many lines on the jellyfish that I was worried about the same thing. But in contrast, the turtle just kind of was a little bland without those lines. So I kind of compromised. So I broke down some of the bigger sections on the jellyfish, and I broke down the bigger fins on the lionfish, it'll make those two a little bit busier. And then I kept the lines on the turtle kind of a lot bigger and broader so that he'll get the stained glass effect, but he won't be as busy in contrast to the other two. So that should balance things out a little bit better. Fingers crossed. Now, I have caught the office plague. I've been a little off this weekend. If my voice isn't portraying that already, I seem, knock on wood, to have avoided the worst one that people have been getting. My voice is a little scratchy, so I may not talk as much through this live stream, if that's okay. You may just watch me draw a little bit because my throat's wicked dry. So I just don't want you guys to listen to me cough the whole time. Super gross. So we'll turn the jellyfish back on. I'm thinking that's a little bit dark. Not really loving that as much. But we're going to go increase that brush size, and we're going to do the turtle now with this because it's the same pattern. We're going to do the same paintbrush over top. And we'll see how it goes because I can always lighten this layer up. All right, we're up and running, so let's go. And then where's my eraser? So I did, exciting news, work on the dragon a little bit today. So we have updates there. I think he's almost done, which is very exciting news. Alessandra, welcome to the stream. I thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with you almost all weekend this weekend. Your streams are so great. So anybody who's not following Alessandra, you should definitely check out her streams. She's an art therapist and does some amazing art. She did these really amazing monsters over the weekend. They were so cute. But it was really cool because I don't know if the ones you did yesterday, Alessandra, were part of the same series or not. But the first one she did on Saturday or Friday. All my days are a blur. I've created long weekends for myself, so I no longer know what day it is. I'm just glad I remember that it's Monday for my live stream. But the first set that you were doing, they were kind of like monsters, but the intent was to kind of portray the different ways anxiety forms in people. It's a really cool way to kind of show that and kind of display that, which I thought was really cool. But they're really, really cute, and the poor little guys, I just want to give them a big hug. But they were really great. She did a great job with them. So yeah, I was watching those streams on the weekend, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, so the monsters that you did yesterday were also the same thing. I think I was doing a couple things. I was watching the stream, so I missed the some of the words on yesterday's stream, but I can't wait to see them in stickers. That's going to be so good. So she's going to turn them into stickers. They're adorable. Like, a lot of people said that they look kind of like they would fit into the Monsters Inc. world. They're so adorable. Would recommend you check her stuff out because they were super cute. I really enjoyed watching them on the weekend. I don't have a chance to put the words on them. Time flies. I guess 2 hours is not enough. Yeah, I'm always very impressed with those of you who are able to do a 2-hour stream. I could easily fill one, but I think probably the advantage to yours, Alessandra, is you're not really talking through yours. Like, you're answering our chats and stuff. But I feel like I ramble enough as it is. I feel like if it was 2 hours, people would quit on me. I could easily fill it though. Although I have thought, I've done it before, like my first few streams were kind of silent, like kind of like yours. I would just stream right from Fresco. And I thought of doing that this afternoon with the dragon, but when I was working on the dragon a little bit, but it was kind of little nitpicky stuff. So it might be harder to see what I was doing if I wasn't describing it. But I have a couple other pieces coming up that'll be could be fun to do, just kind of a silent stream. Maybe I could do 2 hours of those. It's a little easier when you're not, like, Mojo hates when I'm sitting at my desk here. So I'm like on the weekends and everything, I'm just not really at my desk. I studio over in the living room so we can hang out. So maybe I can live stream from my iPad from the couch so that I can be hanging out with him at the same time and then hanging out with you guys. We can all have a big party. It'd be so fun. Okay, yeah, that's already looking a lot better. Perfect. Oops, that's okay. I don't. Oh, let's just try that one again. That was a little scattered. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Everybody's getting ready for Halloween tomorrow. I just finished my full-time job now. Time to watch your stream and eat tamarins. Oh, well, thank you for tuning in to see me after a long day of work. I really do appreciate that. Although I do find watching the live streams extremely relaxing. Watching somebody else draw is so relaxing. So I'm glad people are tuning in for this. I'm a licensed mental health clinician now. Congratulations. Good for you. That's so exciting. Like I said, art therapy is something that's always been extremely interesting to me. So congratulations, because I know all those steps can be a big challenge. I don't know what the process is like where you're at, but I know like here there's a lot of different steps to get kind of certified. So congratulations. That's super exciting. Oh my goodness. Yay. I love hearing good news. Whoops. Here we go. So exciting. Yeah, it was a big struggle is real hashtag situation. I've been waiting since June of this year. My goodness. So were you just waiting to hear, or was the process from June until now to get it done, or were you just like waiting that long to hear? Either way is super, super taxing. You work so hard for something to have to wait, or all the tiny steps, it's a lot. Now we do have a lot of these like really thin bordery things on this illustration. I don't really know what I'm going to do with them, because shading them is really difficult in that it's such a thin space that having the shadows or the highlights in the same little space can kind of like almost change the coloring. We had this on the dragon as well, which I'm going to show you in a little bit, who had those like long whiskers, and I didn't end up stained glass styling them. I left them as they were, and I just gave them the heavy shadow. I think there might be too much here for us to be able to do that. So I'm thinking either maybe I might do the shadows first and see how they go. Or maybe I'll do kind of like a little bit of kind of swirly line art like I did with the Kraken, the suction cups like on the tentacles. I kind of did like a swirly in there. So maybe I'll do kind of some swirly lines, use some of that draw inside feature that Fresco has that we worked with last week, and maybe kind of add that. Like, you know how sometimes stained glass has got that swirly kind of look to it? Maybe I'll add that instead, just because the shading is very difficult on this space, even given the size of this illustration. So we'll keep going with what we're doing right now, but I think we can probably, we'll decide when we get a little bit closer, but just, that's something that's percolating in my head. I applied in June. I had to wait 2 years to have work experience. I've just been waiting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad it all worked out for you after waiting for that long, because, oh, that must be nerve-wracking. Although it was like, kind of like out of your hands at that point, but still, it's one of the things you want to hear the results of for sure, especially after having to get the 2 years experience. My goodness. I know experience, especially in your field, is really important, but I know that gets in a lot of people's way. We're interviewing people at work, and that's something that they say is like, we're trying to get experience. We can't get it we don't have a job. And I imagine getting experience in your field would be extremely unique too. So good for you. That's so much work. Yay. Applause. Gotta love the state board here. Woo. She's being sarcastic. Oh, the process. Oh, yeah. You know, processes are good in certain, like, for things. It keeps things in order in certain cases, but oh, when it's the one thing getting in your way, I can understand the frustration, that's for sure. Holy. I don't know if this is gonna work. No, we're gonna try this one again. I left too much room. So let's try again. So how are you going to celebrate? There's got to be some sort of celebration after like 2 years of waiting. Treat yourself to something super nice. Oops, sorry, I'm shaking the Instagram. That is a huge milestone for sure. Grad school for 3 years, 2 internships while I'm doing it, and then finding work after grad school. Work at the same place for 2 years and applied higher education. Oh my goodness gracious. And then once approved, I had to pay for the license itself. Oh my goodness. What an ordeal. Well, I guess it helps to weed out people who are not serious about it. You're going to go through all those steps. Let's hope you want to be a licensed art therapist. That's for sure. Holy. That's a lot of steps. Excuse me. Hey, Macho. Mojo says hello. Oh, I got myself a new car. That's my celebration. Well done. Good choice. That's amazing. Well, you earned that. That was a lot of work to get to that point. So, I hope you enjoy driving that beautiful car. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a lot of steps, but I'm sure it will all be worth it. Now that the pressure's off. Ooh, a 2024 too. Fancy pants. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know what car prices are like where you're at, but they're pretty nasty where I'm at. So I'm going to continue with my 2013 for as long as she'll let me. That's exciting though. If you're working towards it and that's your thing, it's a great celebration. Especially if you now have to get to different kinds of appointments and things now. Perfect. I love it. So what this week have I done art-wise? Like I said, I watched a lot of the streams, which was super great. I saw some of saw a couple of Alessandra's. I saw Odari's when the tech wasn't fighting him. I saw Umacorn's for a bit while she was fighting with Photoshop. Everybody was having a bit of a tech fight. I was actually a little bit worried about my stream today because everybody had so many technical difficulties in the weekend. So I'm glad it's, knock on wood, going well so far. I saw a few others were streaming, but I had to go change my car tires and a few other things. So I had to do some adulting, so I missed some. I apologize. I'll try to catch you guys another weekend for sure. Oh, okay. So I got it wrong. Sorry, everybody. It's something different from being an art therapist. She's a registered art therapist, but now also a licensed mental health clinician. Wow, that's a pretty good set of skills. And a very interesting field. That's just amazing. Good for you. So exciting. Because I think that would be an extremely interesting area. Oh no! So she said, oh my god, I actually hit pause. I thought I lost you. Oh man, that would be awful. And then I would have fallen to the technical difficulties that everybody else ran into on the weekend. I seem to be running. Okay, phew. That would have been awful. Oh my goodness. we're coming together. I think this is going to be one that I'm just going to have to keep working through a little bit. It's just not hitting all the buttons right now for me, but I know I'm not far enough in to decide that's not good yet, so we'll just wait. My friend was like, PhD next. It's like, nope, done for schooling for good now. You know, I did my master's, and a lot of people asked me if I was going to do a PhD after. And the reason why I went to do my master's was because when I graduated, I was the youngest in my class. When I graduated from my technical illustration degree, I was the youngest in my class, and I just really wasn't thinking that I was ready to be out in the world yet. I wanted to do more, and I knew that one of the things I might want to do in the future was teach at a college level. And up here, you need to have a master's degree to do that. So I thought, well, while I'm in school groove, let's get that master's under my belt. And then it gives me some more time to kind of get a feel for what I want to do. So and nobody had completed my degree because it's an applied degree. A lot of universities didn't know what to do with it. I was one of the first to graduate with that degree and get a master's. So when everybody asked me if I was going to do a PhD, I was like, I had a lot of struggles getting through my thesis. So I was like, no, I really don't want to. But I was also like, it'd be a lot extra for me to be getting my PhD on top of my master's already, when it's just like not really something that is always required in my field. So no, I didn't do the PhD either. But it was funny because when I went to school for my master's, there was one time I lived in residence the first, 2 years? 1 year? Oh no, I can't remember. And anyway, that's pretty sad. But we were all like at dinner one time, and everybody was talking about, they were all master's degrees from all different fields. And one person was saying, like, we're talking about, oh, I've got this paper and I've got all these things to do. And like, we were all quiet for a minute, and someone said, we chose to do this. Like, it wasn't like our degrees were pretty much like everybody needs at least a degree to kind of get most jobs, or at least that was the case at the time. And now, for our masters and stuff, like, all of us chose this. We did this to ourselves. So that was kind of just a funny moment of like, we chose to do this to ourselves. Is the thesis part that made me think I'm not doing a PhD. I hate writing. Well, yeah, that'll definitely get in your way. I enjoyed doing my thesis, but it was like, there was a lot of research into it, which is great, a lot of reading and everything. So, and I was invested in the topic that I was writing about. My struggles were more just kind of advisor wise and kind of trying to get graduating on time and things like that. Like, it was a lot of struggles that way, which is a long story that we don't have to get into right now. But once I got that on track, the writing process was a lot of fun. But yeah, it definitely takes over for a long period of time. APA. Yeah, the styling and stuff like that. Like, I'm glad like I did my master's when I did, because it was right out of school. Because when I was right out of Sheridan, because almost everybody I went to Carleton with, they had been in the work field for a while, which like was an advantage over me in some cases. But when it came to like paper writing, like I was used to late night studios and kind of all-nighters and things like that. Like, I was already in that mode, and then I had already been writing papers and all that kind of stuff, so I was on track for all that kind of stuff. But if I'd taken a couple years off, like right now, if I was writing like an APA paper, there's just no way. That's not a thing. I would have to really look it all up again. Yeah. It's changed so much now. You're like, you did school the time you did. Yeah, I think so. I think doing school and stuff with the pandemic and stuff would have been different too. So I'm glad I did what I did when I did it. But yeah, being out of school for a little bit definitely will have impacted how I did things. Like, a lot of people had really good work experience, which helped them apply to different degrees, or like knew what clients would have wanted. So like, we did some kind of customer based projects. Leave the neighbors alone, please. We did some kind of customer based projects. So some of the people that I was working with knew how to better do that, and I only had like schooling experience. rather than kind of actual client-based experience. So, you know, there's pros and cons to both ways of doing it. But it was, I'm glad I did what I did when I did it, so. Yes, Mojo is on board with the no APA style, for sure. Alessandro says you're a good boy. He doesn't want to write papers either. And if I was writing papers, it would mean I'd be at my desk, and he doesn't like it either. So Mojo says no degree, no paper writing. I would do my sign language course, and I'd be online in the evenings doing my class. But it was so glad, like it was so, like my teacher was deaf and everything, so we were always on mute because they were forcing us to sign, which was great for the learning experience, but it was also good for me because when Mojo was having a meltdown, no one knew about it, just me. Aw, I'm proud of you. Good job on what you've accomplished. Thank you so much. I'm proud of what you've accomplished. Like, you've got a lot of steps to get where you're going, and you work really hard at it, and it shows in all of your hard work. So, cheers for all these hard workers. Everybody's doing so good. I wish you could save these comments. They don't save on Behance. I like to go back and go see these lovely compliments that people are saying every now and again. Thank you. Yeah, no, so it's all good things. Just gotta go with what you need at the time. Screenshot it. That's actually a good call. Actually, you know what? Let's just do that right now. I knew sign language too and forgot it all because I had no one to practice with. So that was my issue. I always wanted to learn it. And I just thought it was an interesting thing. Like I don't have anybody close to me who signs, like, or who needs to sign. But I had the odd little scenario where it would be really helpful. Like there's a kid in our building complex here who is deaf. He can communicate. But he was out one time and he couldn't find his mom, and he was asking me if I had my phone, but I couldn't tell him that I didn't have my phone on me. I was just walking Mojo. I didn't have my phone on me at the time, and so, but I couldn't tell him that I didn't have it. And just like little things like that where I'm like, it would be nice to know just like a little bit of signing. But then Christmas time last year, a friend of mine mentioned that she wanted to learn signing. Now she has MS. And she said that because she has a hard time with some of her cognitive functions and memory things. Hey, RB, welcome to the stream. And she said, I think that sign language would be helpful for her. She said, be helpful for her to like communicate and kind of learn things and kind of just a different side of her brain. So I said, well, when you do that, let me know because I will also learn it, and then we can practice together. And so we took different classes. I took the online one, she did the in-person one, but they were run at the same time. So we were doing a regular practice thing, and then she had some stuff going on, and then I had some stuff going on. So we haven't practiced a lot, but when we go when we're together, like at a big group, we'll sign every now and again to each other so that we can kind of communicate and keep it up. I try now, like Mojo thinks I'm crazy. I think I'm always walking around waving my hands in the air trying to practice because they couldn't run the next course this semester. They didn't have enough people, so I'm hoping that they'll run it again in January so I can kind of keep up with it. But I really like it. It's a very cool way of thinking, and the teacher's really good. So, but it helps that I have my friend to practice with, because if I didn't, then you're right, I'd probably just kind of fall by the wayside and I wouldn't use it and I would lose all those skills. Oh my goodness. I took an in-person class too. The class did a mob dance signing in front of the cafeteria. I almost died of anxiety, but I did it. Good for you. That's amazing, because that would be really cool. I like the idea of the in-person because they can correct you, but being virtual had an extra interesting advantage in that we had the mute button. So none of us could really talk to one another, even like, because the teacher was deaf, so she couldn't communicate with us anyway. Like she couldn't verbally communicate with us. Like she'd type something out now and again, and she would have written messages when you're kind of comparing two signs, things like that. But there was no verbal communication, so it really forced us to have to sign, or at least like spell out the words. So I thought it was an interesting way, because like my friend who did the in-person one, they did like her teacher was not deaf, her husband was, and so she learned sign language through different means. So they would talk a lot about signing as opposed to forcing the signing. Everybody learns differently, so but yeah, it's been really cool to learn just a different form of communication. My teacher, her son was deaf and she wasn't. So yeah, so her and her husband are deaf. Not all of their children are. No, I can't remember the signing thing, but it was just a really interesting dynamic. And the history was really interesting. Excuse me. No, come here right now. Settle. Those babies are just going to go play outside or have some supper or something else. But they don't want you to yell at them because it's not fun. Be chill, man. Yeah. Oh no, too far. Oh dear Lord. Figure it out. There we go. Oh, nope. They're just having a meltdown. Leave them alone. I'm grateful I can hear and don't take it for granted. I completely agree. It's funny, like, not funny at all. It's interesting when we were doing when we first started the first class, she talked about how, like, different histories of, like, the deaf community that I knew literally nothing about. And I was shocked at how little I actually knew about this. But yeah, like little things, like I even watch now, like some TV shows I'll watch with the closed captions on, and they'll say like, oh, this song is playing now. But I'm like, but that's irrelevant to someone who's deaf. They've never heard that song before. So why would you say that? So it's just like little things that you're not really sure, that you don't think about as much until it's pointed out to you. But no, I definitely do. I try and take care of my ears. That's for sure. Important business. How are we doing? Oh my goodness, half hour in already. So we're just working away on for those of you just tuning in, we're just working on the turtle and the jellyfish and our lionfish. Just coming together. So we'll see how this comes together. We're just going to do the shading right now and then see how it comes together. This one's just building a little differently than I originally planned, so we're kind of learning as we go here. Come on, closed captioning, get yourself together. I had my eardrum ruptured by an explosion. Took years to heal. Oh my goodness, that sounds awful. Yuck. That doesn't sound like any fun, RB. Yeah, one of those things you just gotta take really good care of, because it's a very fragile sense, so we gotta be really careful with it. Yikes. Years to heal. Scary. To like 7 or 8 years to heal properly. Good Lord, that's craziness. But yeah, the ears are pretty sensitive. Got to be very careful. Alessandra is going to be a pirate for her costume tomorrow. I love it. That is awesome. Pirate is a good choice. I'm not dressing up tomorrow. I have work, so I'll probably wear like some spidery earrings. I have like witchy fingernails. Instagram can see, sort of. None of that. Kind of a bad Halloween person this year. I feel like it snuck up on me, and now it's like already almost the holidays. I just snuck up on me. No, gosh, it's me. They're too busy. Yeah, and like everybody's kind of at different stages. Like we're not doing like Halloween parties and stuff. Everybody's been so busy. I just feel like it snuck up on me this year. But Mojo might wear his dragon costume tomorrow. If it's nice, we might go for a walk. I like to go walk while the kids are trick or treating just to see, because no one comes to my building. So all the kids go into the neighborhood in the backyard for trick or treating. So last year I think it was nice out, so we went for a little bit of a walk to see how they were doing and all their cute costumes and stuff. But no big parties or anything. Just chilling here. I'll probably watch like Practical Magic or Ghostbusters or something crazy like that. And wear these hot pink pumpkin earrings as well. Nice. Yeah, I have a bunch of like scary like spider or witchy earrings or whatever else. I'll wear those tomorrow. I knit myself a pair of like witchy socks a couple years ago, so I'll probably wear those. Just, Halloween-y fun things. I normally carve a pumpkin. I usually do like crazy pumpkin carving. They all came up in my memories this year. Just today, and I normally would do one, but I feel bad carving a pumpkin when no one can see it because no one comes to my building. So I'm gonna see if maybe I made Halloween pumpkin cookies instead this year, so I'll post those tomorrow so people can see those. But maybe next year I'll coordinate so that a pumpkin can be at a house so someone will see it, because I put in a lot of work and then I'm just the only one enjoying it, and it like doesn't last very long because my apartment's really warm. So I will carve it for someone so kids can see it on Halloween next year. So yeah, and it worked out okay because I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, oh, you know what? I do want to carve a pumpkin. That's it. I'm doing it anyway. And then I woke up and I was feeling all plaguey and gross today. So it worked out well because my arms wouldn't be able to carve a pumpkin today anyway. So it was not meant to be this year. We'll have to do one next year. We'll plan it so that I can take it to a house for someone to see. So we'll just see how it goes. I don't think I have any of my pumpkins on my Hues and Tones now that I think about it. Because a lot of them would have been on just like my personal Facebook not long ago. Maybe I should repost those. Maybe I'll do a throwback tomorrow. Be like, all the pumpkins I did. I've done lots. I will do more. Hunt them all down. I'd rather be busy than bored and sick. Agreed. So busy. I got a fake pumpkin that lights up. That's amazing. I wonder about like painting them sometimes. Like if like I got one and like painted it and then like made like pumpkin seeds or a pie or something out of the pumpkin after. I don't know. I'd have to get some food safe paint obviously, but I just didn't get my poo together. Like I said, fall really snuck up on me this year. I'm actually really shocked that November's this week, so it didn't work out too great. Hello, Emily. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, it's just been really, it's been such a busy time lately. So, and I knew as soon as I started to come down from the chaos, I would probably get sick. And I'm coming down from the chaos and I got sick. So it's just usually the case. But luckily, like I said, so far, knock on wood, it's not too bad. It's just sniffly and kind of icky. So we're just going to curl up and watch some ghost movies tomorrow. Not scary ones. I don't like scary Halloween. I think that's my problem. My I don't have a problem with Halloween. I enjoy Halloween. I love carving my pumpkins. I do like costumes when we do parties and stuff. I'm not super great at them, so if I get a good idea, I'm totally into it. Um, like I did the Paper Bag Princess a few years ago, probably more than a few now, and I've yet to top it because it's like my favorite costume ever. Excuse me. And so, but I like that kind of stuff. But I more like goofy Halloween. I don't like scary Halloween. Like I don't like people jumping out at me. Like I had a friend whose dad would do their whole driveway crazy, and him and her brother would kind of dress up as like scarecrows and stuff and jump out at people. That's not my jam. I don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like when people are like freaking each other out and all the creepy masks and stuff. I don't like scary Halloween. I like kind of fun, goofy Halloween. My 55-year-old client got this part sitting on a rocking chair in a creepy voice, and it talks, it rocks back and forth. But I acted normal. Good for you. I would not, my face would not have been neutral. Nope, scary things like that freaks me out. I don't like that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, there's like a weird line, but just when it gets like really dark like that, like that's just not my jam. I don't like scary Halloween. Like even on the weekend I was watching it's kind of difficult to scare me. Oh dear. She was laughing. I thought it was, yeah, it's so creative. Yeah, it's interesting. Like it's like everybody's got their own approach to it. Like, and I don't mind like odd like Halloween like that. Like I did like Pirates of the Caribbean, like all the skeletons. So that doesn't bother me, or whatever else. But it's the jump scares and stuff. It's not really my jam. RB says I had a person jump in front of me like that once. Aaron ended up in a hospital. Oh no, also the other thing. Like I see all these like videos of people in like haunted houses. I'm surprised those people just get punched in the face more often. Like a lot of people's like fight or flight is to like fight back, and like mine's like I freeze and kind of get scared. You should have. I'm sure there's video on the internet somewhere of me and my sister going through a Walking Dead walkthrough in Universal Studios. We weren't good at it, but I always worry about the people jumping out because like some people like we froze and kind of huddled together, but like some people here they're gonna like flail out like at those like mazes and stuff. Scary business. It's risky business. I wouldn't want to work at one of those places. Yeah, jump scares are not my thing. I don't enjoy them. I'm obviously this shape was not my thing. Let's try this whole piece again. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, the jump scares and stuff. Like on the weekend, I was watching. For those of you who watch like The Walking Dead, I haven't watched it in a few years. I kind of stopped a few seasons back, but they're having a couple spin-offs that are coming out, and I watched the Daryl Dixon one, and Daryl's my jam. And so I watched it. It was really good, but less like the timing of it, all the commercials and everything in between, it was all like the scary, like what they're doing for Halloween, all the spooky, scary movies, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to watch any of those, like The Exorcist and all that kind of. It's just not really my thing. I like Ghostbusters. That's my jam. I don't know what I was thinking going to a haunted house twice. You are extremely brave. Haunted houses are not my thing. Like I said, it's the jumping out and the scaring thing. Like I said, we went to Universal Studios. My sister, my brother, and my sister's husband. I don't think they were married yet. It doesn't matter. They were together. We all went to Universal Studios, and that was one of the things we could go into, was like a haunted house, but it was Walking Dead style, and my sister and I just lost it. It was hilarious. We laugh about it now because like they were never going to be able to touch us. They weren't going to get us. It was never a thing, but both of us were just like freaking out, and the guys were had no help at all. It was amazing. But no, like I like to watch like when Ellen had her show on, and she'd put like Andy through those haunted houses. That was my favorite part about Halloween, is to watch him go through them because his reactions were hilarious. But there's no way I was going to go in one myself. That's not a thing. I usually laugh at horror movies. I know there are a lot of people out there who are like that. Depending on the horror movie, there's some that are like horror movies that I watch. I'm like, this is just goofy. But things like The Exorcist, like that stuff's, I wish I hadn't seen that movie. I would not recommend. I did not enjoy it. Even giving it like its old status, like I watched it, like, you know, like older movies, like the effects aren't as good. Like it still was creepy enough. Like what they did do. Like sometimes if I watch like a older movie now, you're like, oh well, this isn't scary because I can see the lines that are holding the guy up or whatever. It's not the effects. It's all the techniques that they use to kind of freak you out. So The Exorcist is still pretty scary in my mind, but I don't like scary movies, so it's like, it's just not what I'd prefer to watch. I'd rather watch something else, and I don't want to have creepy images in my head when I'm trying to go to sleep because, you know, my brain will just run with it. Horror movies not scary at all. Yeah, it like, and like there's so many different kinds. Like there's some that are like legit horror. There's some that are just kind of like slasher. There's some that are just like easier to just like disconnect from, like Christine. Like there's an ad for Christine. That's why I think about it. It was on the TV earlier, and it's easy to dissociate from because like a car is not going to be possessed and killing people. So you're just like, okay, this is kind of crazy, but this is not real life. It's okay. So yeah, it's just not usually my jam. So I'd rather, like, I don't know, there's some stuff that I can handle and some stuff that I just don't really love. And most horror movies aren't really my thing. It's scary for the sake of being scary, and that just isn't really interesting. But I did enjoy the zombies and the Daryl Dixon series. So if you watched any Walking Dead and liked Daryl, you don't have to have watched all of it. I strongly recommend the Daryl Dixon series. It was really good. It's like 5 or 6 episodes. It's not too long. It's just I get a feeling that there'll be another season, unless they're going to finish it up in a side thing. We're getting a little Marvel-y here with Walking Dead here, so I'm losing track of everything. But would recommend. There were some pretty scary zombies and some very intense scenes that I was not expecting. So I watched that, and I'm going to sleep fine tonight. So who knows where my line is? Let's be serious. Yeah, me too. I watched Chucky when I was younger and Texas Chainsaw, but I'm good now. Haven't watched any. Yeah, those kinds of things aren't really like to me. Like I'm sure like there's a Chucky TV series or something on right now, and it looks really silly. But I also really have no intention to watch it just because like I don't want to watch a creepy doll killing people. But you know, it's just not my style. It's just not where I'm at. RB is not a fan of The Walking Dead. This is fine. I haven't watched it in a long time. I lost track of it. I liked it early seasons. And then Hunger, I was going to stop, and then everybody was freaking out about Negan. I haven't read the comic books, to be honest. I've read like the first couple. And everybody freaked about Negan coming in. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch for Negan. And then I was like, okay, I've seen this. I'm going to go. And then it was like the last episodes of Rick. So I was like, okay, I'll watch Rick's last episodes, and then I'll stop, which I actually did. RB's not a fan. That's cool. There's lots of other TV to watch. Don't watch something you don't like. There's too much to keep track of. It's hard to stay on top of it all, for sure. I don't have time to watch TV. Yeah, man, it's yeah. If I had anime to keep on top of, that would be end of all the things. Like I already have a hard time keeping up with the TV that's on. Like I'll think I'm getting caught up and then someone will mention another show. I'm like, oh right, I did want to watch that one. I did start watching I did start watching The Bear on the weekends. People were really liking that one, and I'm liking it so far. I'm only 3 episodes in, though, so I can't really tell you anything about it, but I'm really enjoying that one so far. I'm excited to watch the tension dissipate a little bit. A lot of tension, and I want to know why in some cases. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, really hard to stay on top of TV. Not enough time to watch TV. Yeah, I say I watch a lot of TV. I mostly listen to a lot of TV. I'm very rarely sitting and full on watching a show. I will be knitting, sketching, cleaning, doing something. My hands are always busy while I'm watching TV, so I'm very rarely sitting and watching a show. Oops. But I will listen for sure. Hey Mojo, come here, buddy. Oh, Criminal Minds. Okay, so RB does like Criminal Minds. I just recently rewatched and finished Criminal Minds. Like I stopped watching a lot later than I thought. I watched a lot more of it than I thought I had. But I watched all of it because I stopped at one point. I thought I stopped at like season 3. I think it was like 7 or 8 that I stopped watching. Rewatched all of it, and then I watched the newer stuff, which wasn't too bad. But no, I did enjoy Criminal Minds. Although it's like, it gets in your head when you like binge watch it. Because I know I said to my sister, because my sister got me hooked on it. And, and like she got me hooked on it, so I binge watched a bunch of it, like the whatever season was out. And I was like starting to get paranoid about what I saw on the side of the road or people near me. So I had to like stop watching it for a bit. But then I got better. Yeah, like RB says, most of the time not realistic with the ideas, but something like that could be happening. Yeah, that was the scariest part to me, was the fact that these ideas came from somewhere. So I try not to think about that too much. Hi, buddy. We're almost done, okay? Hi, Richard. Thanks for tuning in. Okay. But yeah. There's just so much to catch up on. Oops. All right, let's see where we're at here. This took longer than I thought today. So yeah, we're doing a big illustration. All right, let's wrap up these few sections, and then I'll let you guys go for the night. So this taking a little bit longer makes me think that there's just a little bit more detail here, which might make it a little bit more interesting to look at. I just found without the lines, breaking it down yesterday, that it was, last week, sorry, it was just kind of a little too bland, and it wasn't going to be as interesting to look at. So breaking it down like this may help. It'll just depend on what I want to do with the pieces in between. Oh, NCIS is one Alessandra likes. I've never watched that one. I've seen it around, but I've never watched that one. Yeah, once you get into all those spin-offs and things, that they're commenting on how there's like New Orleans and New York and everything. Yeah, when you get to spin-offs and stuff, it gets kind of challenging. Like I know I watch Grey's Anatomy, but they kind of overlap with Station 19 now. But then like the way that they do it, like I don't even know how they're going to stream that moving forward, because there's some episodes where you kind of need to watch both, and I don't really watch Station 19. So if they don't stream them like together, it's going to be confusing. So I don't really know how that's going to work out later on. Like you're not going to know who all these characters are. So if you're spinning off a lot and starting to overlap worlds, like I don't mind the overlapping of worlds, but if it gets kind of too much to the storyline of the one show, it's going to be confusing if anybody watches it later. Yeah, it's too hard to keep track of all of them. Oh, NCIS Sydney. Oh my goodness gracious. We still have those really good Australian accents, at least. That's good. All right. A few more sections here. And then we'll take a look. Definitely. Yes. Australia is definitely a different country, but I don't know necessarily. Maybe it's an equivalent down there. I don't know. NCIS, I mean. I don't know. Okay. Oops. No. I misclicked. Oh dear. Can't follow lines. These kind of like broken section ones always kind of throw me off, because I think this is not how the shadows would work. The sections beside these fins would throw a different shadow, I think. Like I almost should put like a little bit down here, maybe. And then get rid of this. Alright, oh, that's going to bug me because I'm going to miss it, and then I'm not going to clean it up later. We'll just throw a little one in here. Alright, okay. So we're done the turtle shell, and see, that's not looking too bad. I was worried that the top of the jellyfish was going to be a little too dark, but now that it's balancing out with the turtle shell, I think we're going to be okay. And I was worried that there wasn't a dark section on the lionfish, but I think the red's going to get very dark once we start putting the shadows on it as well, so I think that's going to balance out too. And then there's going to be some lightness on the jellyfish with the lionfish as well. I think this is all going to balance out, but we still have quite a bit of work to do. So let me just save this for now. And before you go, I have exciting things to share with people. So let me switch to this one. Hi guys. A couple things that I've been talking about, I actually have physically in person for people to see. So I've opened my shop and I've sold a few things. So I have my gnome cards. They're here in the shop. You can buy each one individually, or you can buy them as a set. They're just a blank card. They're going like crazy. I only have a few of these left actually. And then my unicorn card, which I did on my live. Super cute. And the Hues and Tones sticker bundles. All of these, I have like a little store in my house. It's super cute. But the one I wanted to talk about was the coloring book too. I can't get the orientation. Here we go. I have it in real life now. Real life coloring book. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. We have, spoiler alert, the dragon and the owl. And then we can do, hey, that looks familiar. The line art from today. And then our Zentangle. We did this earlier in the year on a live stream. But there's 20 illustrations in here. And you can see it on, I'm going to put it in the link in here. In Behance, because all of the other things, Instagram and all that kind of stuff, are on sale through the link in my bios. Sorry, I'm starting to short out, guys. We're going to have to cut out soon. But yeah, so all these are available. These gnomes are getting out of control. I have a lot of requests for them. So yeah, those are all available, but like I've been talking about them, but I actually physically have them now. I picked them up in the store. I picked them up on Friday, and now I have them in store, so they're available for people to purchase if you would like. Make good Christmas cards, thank you cards. One person ordered them and was like, I wanted these for birthday cards, all this other kind of stuff. So I physically picked them up on Friday, which is the best part. Seeing it in real life is so crazy because I didn't know what it's going to look like, and so it came out really good this year. So please check them out if you're interested at all on the site. I wanted to go back to the iPad too because I did say I worked on the dragon a little bit, and I think he's pretty much done, guys. So let's get this loaded up here. We'll take a look, and then I will let you guys get on with your day. Check it out. Guys, how scary is this dragon right now? Just zoom in on his eyeballs. And then breathing fire. I'm obsessed. It's gonna be so good. So I was working on this afternoon, so I have to do my walk away and take a look for a couple days, like take a couple days worth of looks, see if there's anything I missed, anything I want to fix or adjust. But I think we're almost finished. So keep an eye on the socials for this guy in the next couple weeks. I'm going to put up a Behance project as well with all my process and everything in there. So definitely check it out. So I'm very happy with how this guy came together. I finally had some minutes to sit down and chill with him for sure. So very exciting business. Okay, that's the exciting news. So much for not talking too much tonight, guys. I'm sorry, I ramble. I see. I know how it is. So I'm going to go make some tea now and rest up a little bit. But I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you so much. RB, Alessandra, Richard, everybody who commented, thank you so much. I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to go get rested up now, and I will be all better and back next Monday at the same time and everything. And I will hopefully check everybody else's streams out this weekend and throughout the week as well. Have a great night, guys. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon.